Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Hello, Remy. How are you?
Very fine, sir. I hope the weather condition is calm now.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah. Yesterday it was raining and electricity was not there. So I had to cancel. But today we are here. Where are others? Okay, pin together. Okay. So tomorrow is Eid. So Eid Mubarak to
Yes.
all.
Yes. Same to you.
Thank you.
Taqabbalallahu wa minna wa minkum.
So Pintu, how are you? Okay, but was my message not clear? People are not joining today. Only 4.
Fine, sir.
Good, good. Who all have vaccinated for COVID-19? Do you have vaccinated yourself? Anybody?
Sir, vaccine is not there in our country.
Exactly, I didn't try even because people are giving the update now that there is sure rush and it is not there. I even didn't try to apply.
Hmm.
What about in Nigeria, Ademi?
Everything is perfect. Only we are afraid we do little restriction because of the news we are hearing from other countries. So we try to place little restriction.
Okay, but
But internally, there is no problem. I have friends, they were even in my house yesterday, Indians, my colleagues at workplace. So we're discussing, then I said, let's pray for people in India. Your people in Nigeria, we were together yesterday discussing the situation. Somebody saying, one of them, Mr. Shah, so we're discussing, we also say, let's pray for people in India. And that God will take control.
Hmm.
exactly. The scenario in India is not good actually. The wave is very high, and we do not know how long it will be there. And people are talking about the third wave. First corona, then it is double mutant, triple mutant. It is just like a war, is not it? War
Yes,
with
yeah.
human survival with the virus. So it's really
It is
tough
well.
situation.
In the I think so. In the Nigeria, there is no like this coronavirus is spreading like this.
It's not strong. Maybe African nature, we have been used to malaria before. People
Yes.
immunity has been built against
Mm.
anything malaria like, you understand? So immunity is tough, strong in Nigeria. So only mostly old people are affected, aged people. You
Mm.
understand? So we don't really feel the impact like that.
How's the hospital
Because
condition?
church still opening, mosque still opening. Some churches about let me say 10,000 capacity per time, 20,000 capacity. They still holding services, still holding revival special services. So suppose very serious effect, government ban everybody. You understand? But normal life is still happening. We thank God.
Exactly. Because but we can't say anything. Okay, what's going on? Uh, it's really tough situation. Tough situation for the human.
How's the
Oh,
hospital condition in Nigeria? Anyway.
Uh, normally Africa has challenge with medical facility that has been with us. You understand? But uh, whatever that is happening is not corona that had it to us. You understand? Malaria, corona impact is a little bit light. We are not under that tension like that. You understand? There are cases, but we are not so much under tension like that.
okay.
Mm.
Stay blessed, everybody. Okay, let's start.
Yes, sir.
So probably we have completed the field instrument part. Likewise, our pressure measurement, temperature measurement is not it. So today I introduce the DCS software to you. DCS SCADA software. Pardon. Did not get who spoke. Hello. Somebody was saying something, no? Into there is a network problem with you.
सर उसमें जैसे प्रेशर स्विच होता है वैसे टेम्परेचर स्विच
नहीं, आपका वॉइस नहीं आया पिंटू. Kindly find some area where your network is proper. There is a network issue. Okay, what I am going to discuss today, it is one DCS software and your SCADA. Okay, so let's start. Begin with this one. I'm showing you this. My screen is visible to you.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. So see here in my C drive, you can see here two folders. One is named as Project 3200E and another is as SysDev 3200E new. So these are the two folders where I am having a software for DCS that is called your SysDev 3200E. So you can see here there are some blocks and there is a exe file, a application file, this one. SysDev 3200E v1.46. So I'm opening this one first. So when I open this software, there is the option project, new, open, and so. So I am going to open a existing logic 3013, and there is a password. Okay. So I entered the password. I can see here project, system architecture, update, help, and utilities. I'm going to system architecture and I can see some modules are there and there is a button called CPU. If I right click on the CPU, then I can see tag, configure, display, data frame, CPU files, simulate, etc. etc. Okay. If I right click on my module, then I can see some properties, tag, configure, transmit, upload, copy. There are some options. So what are these actually? So this is a DCS software where we have a CPU and there are 20 modules, 20 different modules are there. Now I am showing you the architecture of this DCS. See here, the same DCS is in my, this is the SCADA page. I already introduced it, isn't it? So module 1, I am having analog input, analog output, digital input, digital output. Module 2, analog input, analog output, digital input, digital output. So these are the module 6, module 10, module 12, 15, 16, then 17, 18, 19, and module 20. So there are 20 modules, 20, and for them, I am having some SCADA base. I'll be explaining these things. Just showing you right now. See this. This is the architecture of this DCS, where there are 3 operating stations. These are called operating stations. You can see here OS1, OS2, and OS3. These are called your operating stations, or you can also call some of them as engineering station, ES or OS. OS means operating station, ES means engineering station. Okay. Now these computers are connected with these switches. I already explained you people that computers are connected with switches, and then the switches are connected with CPU. This CPU is the controller CPU or your DCS CPU. So I am having two CPU, CPU 01A and CPU 01B. This is active, and here you can see this is standby. SBY means standby. So there are two switches, two CPU and three OS are connected with these switches. The OS means operating station, from where the operator can control your field through your controller. Through controller means your PLC or your DCS. Now these CPUs are connected with the racks. You can see here there are 4 racks: rack 1, rack 2, rack 3 and rack 4. There are 4 racks, and with each rack there are rack switch. Rack switch 1, rack switch 2, rack switch 3, rack switch 4. So there are 4 rack switch. So these are the modules. 3214, it is one module. 3214 another module. 3214 another module. So in this rack we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 3214 module and 1 3215 module. There are 2 other cards, 3293 and 3293. These 3293 cards are your power supply card. So you can see this power supply card in each rack. Here you can see 9293. Here it is also 3293, 3293. Is my cursor visible to you?
Yes.
Okay. So in each rack we can see there are each rack having 2 power supply card, and the model number of this power supply card is 3293. This can vary with different make or different brand. Okay, so these are the power supply modules we are having. Now we see we are having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 modules in a rack. In each rack we will be having 6 modules: 3215, 3215, 3215, 3216, 3220, 3216. So what these 3215 or 3216 really mean to us? These are the model number of these modules. These are the different model numbers. Okay. Now we will be realizing how these are connected. So in a very simple note, we can see from the operating station, it is through cable, it is connected with a switch, and the CPU is also connected with the switch. Both the CPU are connected with the same switch. You can see here, this is one line, switch A. From switch A there is another line, then this is another line, this is another line. So both the CPU are connected with both the switches. Why this is given? This is called redundancy. Redundancy. What we mean by redundancy? That means this CPU is active and this CPU is standby, but both are receiving data and they are computing continuously. Both the CPUs are computing continuously, but at a particular instant or at any time, only one CPU is fetching output data. In case of any issue with this CPU A, the CPU B will automatically become active and will start transmitting data. So there will not be any time gap or lag, so that our process is not hampered. Now these modules are receiving through some cards from field. These modules are receiving signals from field through some digital input, digital output, or analog input, analog output cards. Okay, So this is a simple, very simple architecture. 3 operating stations, 2 switches, 2 CPU, and 4 racks, and there are number of 20 number of modules are there. This is one software. This is in my SCADA. You can see system architecture. This is in my SCADA, and the name of this SCADA software is OnSpec, ONSPEC, OnSpec Professional. This is another software. This is my DCS software or PLC software, and it is called your SysDev Microsys System Developer 3200E. So this software is called SysDev 3200E. In this software, we have assigned those modules which are physically connected here. We have assigned. Now, how to assign these modules in our software? Suppose, first of all, what you are doing, you have installed those racks, you have installed those modules, and then we have to configure those modules in our software. Otherwise, they will not be able to communicate with each other. Is that it? So
both the softwares are like interlocked or something like that.
no, not interlocked. These are 2 different software. One is your SCADA software, another one is your DCS software or PLC software.
So what will be the difference? Like,
yes, I'm coming. See what we are doing. First of all, we are coming with a PLC or your DCS. Now, to program that particular controller, we need a particular software. That software is here. I am using SysDev 3200E software. This will depend on the brand, on the model number or series of that particular CPU. Now, when you are purchasing some DCS or you are having some DCS or say PLC, so you have to go and see the series, you have to go and see the model number, and you have to must have that particular software with you. We will be installing that software in our laptop or our computer. This software is to program that particular PLC or DCS. After installing that particular software in your computer, you need to communicate with the PLC CPU. Is that it? So you need some kind of cables. So there are different cables and Ethernet cable, Cat5, your RS232, RS485. We'll discuss on the later part of this program about these different various cables. So we must need some particular cable to connect that PLC or DCS with our computer. Okay. Before connecting the PLC or CPU with our computer, what we have to do? We have to develop the program. We need to develop the program. We have to write the program in some particular language, either ladder logic or functional block diagram or your SFC, etc. So once we are done with our program development part, then we will be connecting the CPU, PLC CPU with the your desktop or your laptop. Then you will upload the program. Sorry, you will download the program to the PLC or DCS. Once the program is downloaded, after that you will be able to put the PLC or DCS in run mode so that it will control the whole process. Now, while programming this PLC or DCS CPU, we have to configure that what types of modules are there, what type of inputs or outputs are there. Each and every channel we have to configure. Otherwise, PLC will not be able to identify what device has been connected to it on that particular channel. Okay. So you see here. Okay. To share once again. So, okay, let's start with a new project. New project. So, are you getting me? Is my screen visible?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. So I have opened this 3200E software. I am going to the project. I am clicking on the new tab. So new. So it is asking me some project name. Say I am giving it as test 1 point or say 10 2. Okay. Then there are some descriptions that I have to fill up. It's not mandatory, though I am not going to fill up this. Suppose your project name, your customer name, your division number, your PO order number, PO date, etc. You can enter here. Then what is mandatory? You have to give some password to your project. Say I am giving it 1, 2, 3. Okay, and nothing is others are mandatory. Okay. Now our project is ready. I go to the system architecture. See, this is a blank system architecture. If I click on your CPU, right clicking on the CPU, it is showing me tag, configure, etc. If I click on tag, so there are a few default tags available. These are default tags. Okay. Okay, close it. First, what I have to do, I have to configure the module. What type of module is there in my first slot of my rack? Okay, so I am right clicking here and going to the properties. Module name, it is asking me module name. I can give anything, say turbine. So I am inserting here a module which will contain all the logics related to turbine. Okay, so turbine. Now this type is very important. You can write anything here in the name, but type that particular type of module you are using in that particular slot. You have to select that one. Is that it? So I'm going to type, and suppose I am using a 3214 module. Okay, 3214 module. Now I can check here if this module is having a redundant module or not. If this module is having a redundant module, I can check it. If this module is having no redundant module, I can uncheck it. Okay. So right now I check it and see. So this is a module that I have configured here. Now if I right click on this and go to configure, I can see there are few blocks, and you can see on the top left corner logic for turbine, page number 1 out of 1. So there are only single page right now, and this page we are seeing. There are 7 blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 7 blocks. So it is showing me everything. Okay, all details. Now we go through these blocks. What these blocks mean to us? There are blocks. First block, it is written as your 8 analog input. Okay, that means all the analog inputs are assigned here. So what is this block? Second block, it is written as 8 input calibration. That means the channel number 1 here, analog input 0, 1. I can highlight it. This pin, at this pin, you can attach or you can connect any analog input transmitter, analog input field device. Okay, so this is connected here. The value will be coming to this pin, and at channel number, you can see here, at channel number 1, you have to assign that the tag of that particular instrument. Tag of that particular instrument you have to assign. Suppose I will be going to connect a pressure transmitter at this point, at this pin. So I can give a name to this pressure transmitter as, say, PI 101_01. So this tag name I have generated. It was not there earlier. I have written as PI 101 underscore 01, and on tag description I can write, say, main steam pressure. So now this tag description is not mandatory. Tag name is mandatory something. I am writing this tag description for my understanding. So I have written here main steam pressure. So what will be the type of this transmitter? Will it be integer or digital or real? I hope you people have the idea of the difference between your digital, integer and real. Digital means only two values, either low or high, on or off. Integer means it will have a value which will be not having any decimal numbers, and real values will be having decimal numbers. You can express them. So I am choosing, suppose here, real number. Now what will be the unit? So since it is a pressure transmitter, suppose my unit is bar. I can write it as bar. Now you see here, we can set limit, low limit and high limit. These are counts, means low limit is 0 and high limit I am writing as 10,000. That means it will be having 10,000 counts. The signal that will be received by the PLC will be divided into 10,000 counts, and then it will be once again calculated and displayed in engineering units. So percentage to engineer. Display format says 6.2 means there will be some decimal number. And this is not. So I have configured one tag, that is PI 101, which is my mainstream pressure, and I am going to add it. When I will be clicking an add, it has been added here in my data register. You see here PI 101, a tag has been added. Suppose I want another pressure transmitter PI 102, and this is, say, your mainstream pressure, or say boiler outlet pressure. Okay, boiler outlet steam pressure. So this will also be real, and 0 to 10,000 bar, and I am at. So these two pressure transmitter I have added here. Okay, close it. Now I can assign these two tags. These two tags means what? These two transmitters, is not it? So I can attach to any of the pins. I am attaching here on the number 1, pin number 1. I am going to attach, say, pressure transmitter 2. This one. See here. I have attached this, and on 7th pin I am going to attach the 101. So I have the liberty. I can attach at any point in any of the transmitter or any of the input. Okay. Kindly, everybody are requested to mute your mic. Thank you. See, this is very important to understand. What I have done, first of all, I open a new project, I configure the module, and then I am configuring the tags. How I am configuring? In my tag register, what I have done, I have assigned, or I have configured first PI 101 and 102 some tags. I have given the numbers or range of the transmitter in terms of counts. I have set the unit and I added. Now it's the same PI 102. If I add once again, it will not be going to take. See, it will be showing me duplicate tag. Okay, I cannot use the same tag twice, so I can change it. Suppose I am connecting some temperature transmitter, say TT 101. So TT 101 will be, say, mainstream mainstream temperature. So this will be also real number. Unit will be your degree centigrade. And say the limit is 0 to 20,000. Add. It is added. Suppose I am adding a dumper or say ZIO digital input and 101, and this is say dumper 1. So it is a digital output. So I have to select here digital, low string low, and high string high. Initial value, we can set some initial value whether when the PLC or DCS will start, whether I want to start it from high or start it from low. I can select it here. This is called your initial value. This tag can be made read-only or your communicable. What do you understand by read-only tags? Read-only tags are those tags which will be configured within that particular module only, and you can use that particular tag within that module. But if I check this communicable button, then this tag will become a global tag. It will not be a local tag, it will become a global tag, and you can assign it here and use it in any other modules, in any other module. So I have as ZI101 underscore 0 as communicable tag, and it will not have any unit since it is a digital on or off button. And now you see I have connected. Similarly, okay, now see digital output. I have to connect where? I have to add it here. Digital output block. Okay, yes. So I have to find out that ZIC, ZIO. Okay. This one. This has been added. So this is how we are going to configure the tags. Now, once the tags are configured, I have to make some program. So to make some program, I need some new pages. Go to page, new. Do you want to save the updated page? Yes. And a new page is there. Now I can add block. Add block. Whatever type of block you want, you will be getting here. Say 2 input AND gate, or say 4 input AND gate, or 3 input AND gate, you will be getting. So this is a block I have added. Suppose I want here a digital input. So say ZIO. Sorry. So I can attach these inputs. I can attach any kind of output here. Now, based on the logic that we make here, suppose AND gate, and there are 3 inputs. So what do you understand by AND gate? Means if all the 3 are 1, then I will get this output. Okay. Are you getting my point? Are you getting what I am saying right now? Anybody has any?
We are following.
Yeah. Okay. So what you have to understand first, at the very beginning, what I am having a new DCS, suppose new DCS or a new PLC. This is a hardware. I have bought it, I have installed it. Now what I need, I have to program that particular PLC or DCS according to my need. What I need to program that PLC? I need a particular software. That software must be compatible with that particular PLC or DCS that I have bought. I have installed that particular software in my laptop or PC, and I started programming that through that software. In case of DCS, what I am going to do first, I am going to assign the modules. Once the modules are assigned or the cards are assigned, after that I am going to assign the tags. Means at which pin, what tag we are assigning. Once it is done, then we can program the whole module. Now you will be seeing the existing programs for your better understanding. So I close it and I go to my existing program logic. Okay. So system architecture, I am opening the module number 2. So this is already programmed one, and you can see here there are PIC 303_02, PI 301_02, FIC 301_02. So what this tag means, I can simply double click on some particular tag and I can see what the description says. So PIC 303_02 is my PA header pressure. Okay. So PA header pressure is a real time signal, and here you see low limit is 0, high limit is 1600. Here MMWC is the unit. So these things are there. Okay, I have seen this. PI 301_02. This is my FD fan outlet pressure. Okay, another pressure. FIC 301, it is airflow to aerofoil. M303A, this tag is your IDFAN1 RPM display feedback. Okay, so this tag is used to display the feedback of the RPM from your IDFAN1. And your last one is your PA header pressure. Okay, it is broken sensor. So I have connected a few transmitters. Similarly, on my analog output side, I can see I have attached FCB301A. What is this FCB301A? I can see here FCB301A_02. It is my FD-FAN1 suction damper RPC. RPC means regulating power supply. So it is a FD-FAN1 suction damper RPC. FCB301B, FD-FAN2 suction damper RPC, FP101, feed pump 1, VFD, speed output. So all the analog outputs have been assigned here. Okay. So now we go for some logic part. This is page number 2, page number 3. So we see here. In my page number 3, there have been written so many things, isn't it? There are so many blocks and all. So what this page made for? I can see here M302A start. Okay, what is this? I can highlight this and I can see that it is your start PFN motor command. Okay, so the motor, PFN motor will be started by this command, by this tab. M302A start_02. Now, if this particular tag becomes 1 or high, then my feed pump, I think, a PFN number 1 motor will be started. Are you getting my point? This particular tag, if this particular tag becomes 1, then PFN1 will be started. Now, how PFN, I can see this, I can see from here. You can see here, this is my PFN1. This is my PFN1. When I press this start, this command I am giving here from my on-spec SCADA, this command will be going to where? It will be coming here, that M302A start, this one. You can see here. Start command PFN from SCADA. So I am just clicking here, start. This will become 1 and will be coming to this part, M302A start, and it will there. It is a acknowledge block. You can see here it is written acknowledge block, and here a pin called time. I have written here 5. That means this block will hold the signal for 5 seconds. The moment I will be giving a command here start, after that this block will hold the signal for 5 seconds. In between these 5 seconds, once this is high, there is an AND gate. So in between these 5 seconds, if both these pins, input 2 and input 3, if both the pins goes high, then this F008 will become high. And if F008 is high, there is an equal block. So this will become high and my motor will start. समझ में आया कुछ? Did you get anything?
Little bit understand. Oh,
Little bit, is not it? Okay. Not
Sir,
an
sir,
issue.
can you show the programming screen, please?
This is the programming.
Sir,
It is-
here, sir, here output is F008.
Hmm.
Then again, sir, we are using an equal block.
Hmm. Yeah, it is. Why this block has been used? Because this F008 is used in 2 other blocks. Say here to start this one, and here there is a flip-flop block, SR flip-flop. So to divide this particular signal into 2, they are using a equal block here. That if this is 1,
Okay.
then this will be.
Okay, sir.
So this type of programming is called your functional block diagram. Okay. In our basic program, we have gone through the ladder logics. Now this is your functional block diagram, and functional block diagram is much more easier than your ladder logic. Much more easier, because we can see
Okay.
here functional block diagram is really very easy compared to your ladder, as we can see everything here line by line. How? Suppose I have understood that this is the particular command that will start my motor, M302A start. Now when this can be, this will go high. Since there is a equal sign, that means if this particular F008 becomes high, then this motor will be started. When this F008 will become high, I am going in the reverse order. When this will be high, when this AND gate will give a output 1. When this AND gate will give 1, if all the 3 pins, input 1, input 2, and input 3 are 1. So input 1, when this input 1 will become high, when this acknowledge block will give a 1 signal. When this acknowledge block will give a 1 signal, when this particular tag M302A start will become 1, then for 5 seconds, this acknowledge block will become 1. Now, what is this M302A signal? From where this signal is coming? To see this, I can double click on this particular tag and see this is a start command from PFN1 from SCADA. Okay, that means this particular signal is coming from my SCADA. So I go to the SCADA page, and in my PFN1, I can see, okay, this start command When I am clicking on OK button start, this command is going to particular DCS software. Now how to check this one? For that, in my OnSpec SCADA, I have to go on today just go through the things, and you will be start understanding in later part. Okay, so I am
Yeah, move on, sir. Move on.
it will not be means if somebody is not understanding, kindly do not skip it, just go with me, and on later part you will be able to understand everything. Okay, so I have opened this
I
one.
hope the lecture is on record. Is on record.
Is not it recording?
The lecture is on record.
Yeah, okay, this is recording, no? Yeah, recording.
So that even after class, one can go over it again.
Okay, I will be sharing the recorded one also. Okay. So you see here, I have opened this SCADA page now. If I double click on this PFN, so no, there is nothing like that. It's showing nothing that can help me out. Okay. So what I can do, I go on spec. I see here PFN1, and you see when I am clicking on this particular button PFN1, a pop-up window is opening up. This is called pop-up. It is coming over this particular SCADA page, is not it? So this is called a pop-up page. Okay, one pop-up page is coming up. So it is named as PFN1 interlocks. Okay. So I will be going here and opening up this PFN1 interlock page. Okay, PFN1 interlock page. Yes. This is the page actually that we designed, and we can see here when I click this. Whenever I am clicking on this PFN, this particular page is coming out as pop-up. And where I have designed it here. You can see. So if I double click on this particular start, I am clicking here. So I can see a tag on spec tag. It is written here M302A underscore start underscore 02. Okay, good. I can copy it here. It is written M302A start underscore 02. I go to my system and I can see here M302A start underscore 02. Same tag, is that it? Got it? This is the tag M302A start underscore 02. That has been that is connecting your system and your SCADA. Similarly, if I double click it here, it is your M302A start underscore 02. So you will not be finding this one on your SCADA, definitely. So I can see another one. Suppose stop. So this is your M302A stop STP underscore 02. Okay, I find it this tag. I'm trying to find out this tag M302A underscore STP underscore 02. So here there must be this one tag, so I can go and find M302A stop underscore 302A, isn't it? M302A stop. Yes, this one. Sorry, it is going to this. M302A stop, this one. So this is the stop command that will stop your motor. This is the start command that will start your motor. Stop command from SCADA. M302 stop. So whenever I will be pressing a stop command here, stop. Whenever I am giving a stop, this stop is coming to my sysdev at this pin, and this is a acknowledge block. So it will hold this particular signal for 5 seconds, and this will be high for 5 seconds. Once this is high, this is a OR gate. 3 input OR means if any one of the input is 1, this output is going to high. If this is high, then my motor is going to stop. So there is a start command, there is a stop command. How the start command is coming? Once I am pressing or giving command from my SCADA, this is coming here, and this is making this output high. So it is triggered. If I am pressing stop command, then this stop is coming here through this OR gate, and my motor is stopped. How many of you got at least 5% of this, whatever I have taught?
Yes, I got little bit. It is related to FBD programming
Yeah.
and using the AND gate or FBD function block diagrams. This is we can wish.
Hmm.
If you want to create, then we have to do like this.
Can't you implement FBD logic in case of PLC also rather than ladder logic? In case of PLC, there might be some software that accept FBD. I never used actually. There might be some softwares. Not all softwares accept FBD in case of your small PLCs.
Sir, you have you use like some type 3 to something. So is it like a universal name for that? Like we can find it, or it's for particular company, the
Or it's definitely a particular brand. Okay, if you go to if you go for your Allen Bradley, the card names or module names will be different. If you go for your Siemens, the module name will be different. The software will be different. The software configuration will be different. But the things that I am going to teach you will remain same.
basically the process or the concept remains the same, only the
Yes.
naming change.
Yes, exactly.
And
See,
is it necessary, sir, to acknowledge the command, like if like you have used the acknowledge block in the FBD, so is it necessary first it should be acknowledged and the thing should be start? Is it something like we follow it algorithm or something like that? No.
no, see why this acknowledge block is used here. When an operator is giving a start command from his computer, it is just a click, is not it? It is just a click from his mouse. So the click means what? This signal will go high for 1 particular second maximum, just for a one shot. Now, within that particular one shot, there might be other interlocks. One of those interlocks might be going down, so your motor will not start. So what we are doing, if I am clicking on this particular start, then I am trying to hold this signal at least for 5 seconds, so that If there are other interlocks, those will get sufficient time to get high and my motor will start.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
So there you might not require this particular acknowledge block. You might have some other things, or you can hold this signal by any other means. We will be understanding this step by step. So
Yeah, we can.
what we have introduced today, we have introduced the two softwares. One is our SCADA software, one is our programming software. We are using a programming software to program our PLC or DCS, and we can see the program how it is functioning in online mode through this particular software. Another software is your SCADA software, through which we are controlling the controller. We are able to give command to the controller. Or our operator is able to give command to the controller. Okay.
हेलो
Yes. हाँ बोलो.
सर उतना समझ में नहीं आ रहा है मतलब आप मतलब इतना बढ़िया से समझ में नहीं आ रहा है ये
ये थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा, समझ में नहीं आएगा ऐसा नहीं है, क्योंकि ये अभी अचानक से समुद्र में कूद गए हो ना, तो इसको लाइन पे लाते हैं, धीरे धीरे आएगा, एक एक पर्टिकुलर केस पकड़ेंगे तब आएगा.
Sir, can you show like physical how the rack is like the system market
We will be
physical components like
yeah.
is it like or any photograph?
I will be showing you each and everything, and I can guarantee you that by the end of this program, these things will become very clear to you. Just I am first, what do you know? If you do not know ABCD, you cannot make words. If you do not know words, you cannot make sentence. So, and I am showing you the paragraphs. Is that it? So that is why you people are getting a bit might be uncomfortable that okay, what is this? I can understand, but you will be. Okay.
Those who know previously little bit about programming FBD and he can understand little
Yeah,
bit. Concept is same. We need to know. We required only need to concept only. Need to understand concept.
exactly. See, this program is industrial 2.0. Okay, means I already in the program itself I told that it will be something higher advanced level program. So there were two steps before. One is the total program that I cover. It is divided into 4 or 5 steps, like your beginner, then your intermediate, then advanced, then professional, and then expert. Okay, so beginner, at the beginner part, we just get the idea that okay, how we can control the digital things, how the PLC works, what is the scan cycle, scan time, and the process, etc. In intermediate step, we go through some advanced level blocks like your timer, counter, and some analog inputs and outputs through PLC. In our advanced level program, we go with this PLC and DCS both with your SCADA. So, and complex process control. Then after advanced level, there are 2 more steps. One is your professional and another one is your expert level. Now, in case of your professional level, you will be getting more in more depth of these projects, that how can you do each and everything. And in your expert level, that particular things means that you should go through some particular brand. After knowing everything, now what you require, what you will have, you must require that suppose you are using a particular brand, say Siemens. So you have to go in and out of that Siemens TIA portal or something or so. So that is that particular thing I call that, okay, this is something expert level. So first beginner, then intermediate, then advanced, then professional, then expert. There are so many steps, is not it? Anyways, if somebody are new to this and jump directly into this program, not an issue. You will be able to understand, but for a better understanding, I recommend you must start from the beginner part, beginner, then intermediate, then advanced, then good. Anyways, let me come to my point. So we were trying to understand this one. Sure. We were trying to understand motor control. This is a motor, or you can say a fan. Fan is nothing but a motor. So I can see here in my SCADA page, there are written as starting interlocks and tripping interlocks. What do you understand by interlocks? Interlocks means the parameters, those who are interconnected, or the parameters based on which a particular machine will be started automatically or will be tripped automatically. What I say, interlocks are those particular parameters based on which a machine can be started or tripped automatically. Got it?
Yeah, it means if you have two different output, one output will be on high, then another output automatically is low. If another output is high, then
Yes.
different output is in low. This is
Yes.
this is what we call.
Interlocks.
Yeah,
Let's say if we are talking about,
at the same time, both output cannot be high.
if we are talking about like AND logic or gate logic,
Yes, gate
understand?
logics.
Like
Yeah.
for AND logic, there are let's say there are devices for AND logic. If we have like 3 input, those 3 input must come high before we get our output. So if
Yes.
we are saying all logic, so we say maybe we have like 3 input. If any of the input come high, we are expecting to get our output. So I
Yes.
think that's what we mean by the interlocks.
Yes. Means you cannot say it like that now. So interlock means those parameters based on which a machine will be started or stopped or tripped automatically. Now what I use two terms, stop and trip. Can you tell me the difference between stop and trip? Anybody?
Yeah, yes, sir. If some fault is there, then we call trip, and manually if you stop, then it is stop.
Okay, did you ever heard manual trip?
Yeah, manual trip is.
Sometimes we trip the machine manually.
Yeah, yes.
Is that it? Then what is then the difference between your manual stop or manual trip? Is there any difference or both are same? If I say trip,
Difference are different.
why? What are the main difference? You are manually
Like-
stopping.
Like if we use
Main difference is like
if we
this.
use emergency stop.
Yes.
If we use emergency stop, we can refer to that as manual
And
trip.
whether just wait. Whether emergency stop is trip. You are not saying emergency trip, emergency stop. My question is whether stop and trip are same.
No, sir. Stop and trip are different.
No, different.
In what basis these two are different?
So tripping is basically for safety purpose, like it's for machine safety, equipment safety we can call it. But stop is for like if we are stopping the system in sequentially or for our requirement.
So ultimately, what is the what we got in this? That we sometimes we trip manually, sometimes we stop manually. So where the basic difference is, the basic difference is on your sequence of operation. Sequence of operation means if you just press the stop push button, or if it gets automatically stopped, that means certain sequence it is maintaining, and then on based on those sequence it is closing step by step, and then it is going to be stopped. Now you cannot see any difference if it is a motor or something like that. But suppose you are running a gas turbine. So there are so many steps in case of your gas turbines, is not it? So if you just press stop, then what the turbine will start doing? It will gradually unloading itself. Then step by step, once it is unloaded, then it will open the breaker. Then gradually it will be coming down, and it will take its own time to come to the rest. And there will be levers that will be open and all. There are several steps. Once you are just pressing the emergency stop, or then it will bypass some of those steps and coming quickly to the stoppage position. Once you are pressing the emergency trip, that means it is bypassing some more steps and directly it is going to be stopped. Okay, so it is exactly depend on the sequence of operation. If there are no sequence of operation, means if you are pressing the start push button and you are giving stop and the motor or the machine is going just to be stopped, there are no other operation, then there is no difference exactly in between your emergency stop or emergency trip or your normal stop. Okay. So trip is based on some kind of fault or in some emergency, and mainly when we say trip, we are some relays or protection relays comes in our mind, or some kind of interlocks comes in our mind if it is an automatic. If there are certain abnormality in your process, then you can go and you can directly press some emergency stop or emergency trip push button so that the machine can be stopped. Is not it? And in our automation, stop is always preferred first, then start, because a machine must be stopped. So in your mind, stop should be coming first rather than start, because once the machine is started and if you are unable to stop it, it becomes dangerous. So I hope you got it. Now what I am going to explain. Okay, let's start from your basic of motor control so that we can understand these things, the interlocks part and why we start, stop, etc. as required. Okay, so I can start with this. Okay. See, there are that we use now. There are some tags, is not it? What these tags means and what are the different types of tags? So tags can be divided into three types. One is your sorry. I have to connect this one. So what I was saying that tag is either your hard tag or your soft tag or temporary tags. So there are, we can divide categorize in three basic things like hard tag, soft tag, and temporary tags. What are these hard tags, soft tag, and temporary tags that I am trying to mean by these things? Isn't it?
Hard tag means if we putting some sticker like this, we can call hard tag. Soft tag means in putting in programming some tagging, that is called soft tag. And temporary tag, like this, for some time you are using the tagging, that is called temporary.
No, it's not like that. Anybody else? Anybody else have any idea regarding the tags? See, hard tag means those tags that are used to connect the PLC or DCS with field. Hard tags are those tags that are used to connect your PLC or DCS with your field devices. Okay. Suppose I am having a card here. Suppose this is a input card and suppose I am having a pressure transmitter over here. This pressure transmitter, say, is connected with this particular channel. Say this is channel number 1. Now, in my software, I have to assign this particular channel. Is that it? Just now I shown you people that I was writing something like PI 101 underscore 02 or so. This is a tag name. And that I assigned where? Assigned in some pin in my software. Is that it? Are you getting? So what we are doing, we have installed a pressure transmitter in my field. I have connected this pressure transmitter with a channel to a channel of my analog input card, and this card is channel number 1. So I have written given a tag name, say PI 101 to my channel number. Okay. Now this PT is becomes my PT 101. Now the signal that is coming from this pressure transmitter, it will be in terms of your 4 to 20 milliampere signal. This signal is coming to the channel number 1. And this signal, the data will be stored where? Data will be stored in my register, in my memory register, with an address of PI 101 underscore 02. So this becomes my hard tag, because this tag is assigned to some particular channel of the PLC or DCS. But when I am just giving some command from my SCADA, from my software SCADA, then also I am using some tag, say PI 301 or 302 that we used just now. So where this particular tag will be connected in this pin, because this command is going digitally to inside this DCS. So there are no particular channel which has been connected against this particular tag. There are no channels which has been assigned to that particular tag. Thus, this tag becomes my soft tag. And finally, temporary tags. Temporary tags are those tags
It means,
which-
sir, hard tag we can call like this. We are which tag we are putting in registered, like FBD programming when putting the tagging. The which tag is in the register we call hard tag, and which tag is in memory bit, like when are using some Siemens programming or like this, we have to put the memory bit tagging. That is called a soft tag. We can call like this.
see, either if it is your soft tag or it is your hard tag, both tags will be definitely stored in some memory register. Okay, both the tags will definitely stored in some memory registers. So you cannot classify it in terms of memory register. But what I am trying to say, hard tags are those tags which can be assigned to channels. This is my card. So I am assigning this particular channel as PI101. So this is my hard tag, which is communicating directly with my field device. Soft tags are those tags which are communicating with the PLC or DCS in between your DCS or PLC and your SCADA. These soft tags has no existence in terms of your channels or in your field. And temporary tags are those tags which are generated inside the program and used inside the program. So the temporary tags are not coming into the picture in your input scan or your output scan. That means temporary tags are nothing but your flags. In case of our PLC, we were calling them as flags. Okay. So just giving you some idea right now. Wait, just suppose there are so many number of tags, is not it? So if I press if I highlight this one, M302A start underscore 02, and if I go to my main page, so I can see here that M302 start underscore 02, it has been connected to your digital output channel, is not it? So it has been connected to your digital output channel number 9.
Yes.
It has been with your digital output card. Now you go to once again to the same, and your connection is unstable. My connection is unstable. So suppose I am trying to find out this particular tag M302A start underscore 02, and I go to my main page. See here, this particular tag has not been assigned in any of the pin. Is that it? I have highlighted this one, M302A start underscore 02. It has not been assigned anywhere in my cards. These are the card pin that I can see. These are the channels. Okay. So these are not assigned with this particular tag. So from where this tag is coming? This tag is coming directly from my SCADA. From here, M302A underscore start underscore 02. You see here, M302A underscore start underscore 02. So this will be stored in the memory of your CPU digitally through your say TCP/IP protocol. This tag or this signal is communicating in between your PLC and SCADA, not in between your PLC and your field. Okay. Suppose this is a start command, is that it? This is a start command. Now the same start command I can be giving from some push button. If I press some push button, then this start command may come. Say me yes or no.
Yes, yes.
So suppose I am having a push button in my hand, then if I press this push button, then this start command will come. Then what I have to do? I have to attach this particular push button with some channel to some channel, and I have to configure that particular channel with some tag. That particular tag will become a hard tag. But when I am just clicking here in my computer, how am I connecting anywhere to any channel for this particular start command? No, I am not connecting anywhere or cable. It is the main data cable, that is your RS-232 or RS-485 on your Ethernet cable that I am using, and all the data are communicating directly from CPU to CPU, from this computer CPU to my PLC CPU. This data is directly communicating. So this particular tag is my soft tag. Okay. This is your hard tag, which is connected to the which is communicating in between your PLC and your field, and this is your hard tag, which has been communicating between your SCADA and your PLC, SCADA or HMI, you can say. Okay, so these are the tags. These tags are called your soft tag. And see here, F007 or your F008, these are your temporary tags or your flags which are generated. I have generated this F007 here and I have used it here itself. So this has nothing to do with my input or output. It is just generated within the program and has been utilized within the program. It has no significance in your input scan and your output scan.
Okay.
Tell me who all have really understood these three things: hard tag, soft tag, and your temporary tags.
I got it, sir. I got it.
Okay, so Rakesh, tell me.
Sir, understood, sir.
Okay, Kaushik. Kaushik Roy.
यस सर
समझ में आया?
जी सर
ओके पिंटू पिंटू समझ में आया?
सर इसको थोड़ा सा इजी लैंग्वेज में ऐसे भी समझ सकते हैं, लाइक एक मॉडेम है, कंप्यूटर के साथ कनेक्टेड है, तो फील्ड डिवाइस हो गया, कंप्यूटर के साथ कनेक्ट हो गया, एंड वी हैव गूगल एक्सप्लोरर, तो वो हमारा एक सॉफ्ट हो गया और टेम्परेरी फाइल सेव हो जाती है कि इमीडिएटली रिकॉल हो जाए, तो टेम्परेरी टैग हो गया।
पिंटू अगर तुमको whatever, just don't mind. I have to. I'm just talking a bit in Hindi to make him understand, but I'm not saying anything different. Okay. So हम लोग जब बिगिनर कोर्स कर रहे थे तो हमने देखा था ना कि फ्लैग जनरेट होता है, फिर तुमको अगर याद है तो इनपुट स्कैन, देन लॉजिक एग्जीक्यूशन, देन आउटपुट स्कैन, है ना, हाउसकीपिंग. So those tags which are present in your input scan or in your output scan, those are called tag, and those tags or say bits that we generate inside the program, and those have no significance in your input scan and output scan, are called your temporary tags or your flags. Okay. Now your hard tag and soft tag. Hard tags are those tags that we use to communicate with the field devices. That are directly connected to the channels of the PLC or DCS. And soft tag are those tags that we are using to communicate in between your SCADA and your PLC or DCS.
Yes, sir. Yes. Got it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, Acha. So with that, I'll stop here today because tomorrow is Eid and my children are waiting for me actually. They,
Yes, sir.
they were calling me several times that where are you today? It's Eid. So I have to go. And
When will the next class, sir?
next class will be on next schedule because tomorrow is Eid, so I'll not be able to take class.
सर लेक्चर थर्ड वाले की जगह कुछ दूसरा अपलोड हो गया, कुछ की एजुकेशन बच्चों का, उसमें थर्ड लेक्चर की जगह
क्या चीज?
थर्ड लेक्चर में जो अपलोड हुआ है वो कुछ आप बच्चों को बता रहे हैं क्लासेस के बारे में, वो अपलोड हो गया थर्ड लेक्चर की जगह।
है क्या? चलो मैं देखता हूँ, चेक कर लेता हूँ।
लास्ट दो लेक्चर का वीडियो अपलोड नहीं हुआ सर।
आप कहाँ पे देख रहे हो? स्टोर पे देख रहे हो कि इसमें देख रहे हो?
स्टोर पे
चलो
apps में।
मैं चेक कर लेता हूँ। ठीक। I'll
Okay,
update. Okay. So tomorrow.
Hello, sir.
सर और एक चीज एफबीटी में सर एफबीटी में अपना टाइमर और काउंटर यूज कर सकते हैं
हाँ, सब कुछ यूज कर सकते हैं
एफबीटी में।
या डेफिनेटली
सब कुछ।
all kinds of blocks will be there in your FPD. Your timer, counter, your PID control, everything, all facilities are there. Okay, all kinds of blocks. I will show you. Yeah, Odime.
Okay.
So our next class will be on Saturday.
Next class is scheduled on Friday. Was scheduled on Friday. No, Saturday and Sunday. I have other classes actually. So next class will be on.
We cover little this week, very little, and we are anxious as in that no time. If we also want to keep track of the time as fast as we can, so that we can catch so much. I don't know. This week we cover little due to postponement of our classes and stuff like that.
Not getting you rightly.
As in due to a lot of postponements this week, I think we only have 2 classes this week. Just 2 classes.
Yeah, exactly. Yesterday's class was cancelled, isn't it? So I take this class today, and tomorrow was one more class, and due to your Eid, this class will be cancelled. So
we can't do it on Saturday.
Saturday, exactly. My schedule is tight on Saturday and Sunday right now.
On Saturday.
So yeah.
Okay.
So let me see.
Just help us so that we can hasten it, make it fast as much as possible, that we can round off the program. It should not be too spread.
Sure. I'll be trying to take extra classes on next week. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Let me check my schedule. I'll try some extra classes. Okay. So all bye for today.
Okay, bye, sir.
All right.
Happy Eid.
Happy Eid.
Sir.
Thank you.
Bye, sir. Good night.
Thank you. Bye. Stay safe, everybody. Stay safe.
Okay.